Well, good morning. It's Easter morning. I sort of missed yesterday's effort to make my video edition upload because I was sort of occupied with Easter proceedings, and also realized I forgot my Wednesday temple recommended review with the stake president. And thankfully, the stake executive secretary helped get one counselor, Elder Dearden, to meet with me in Kemmer yesterday afternoon, just after this afternoon conference session, and I got my Tupper recommend renewed. So I'm so thankful for that. I didn't want to go through the next 4 weeks in North Dakota without a Tupper recommend, and the chance to possibly, upon getting home, go straight to the temple to get my second quarter temple attendance done. But anyways, so I'm grateful for that. And anyways, this morning got up late this morning, nearly 7 o'clock. I didn't sleep very good though. I woke up early and didn't go to sleep and couldn't go to sleep, and but it's the way it goes. Might be part of my nervousness and whatever about my going out to North Dakota this afternoon. But something I've chose to do and I'm doing. And President Dearden saw my nervousness yesterday, and he suggested that I get a blessing. And I thankfully have a faithful son-in-law, Jacob, and he gave me a blessing. Then I gave Deborah a blessing and comfort. So it was a good event yesterday, experience, and I'm grateful for that. And today I celebrate Easter. Today is the day the Savior rises from the tomb. And so because he did, so shall we one day rise as well, as we shall all die. I think for our family and our covenants we all hold. I think for this land we live in and the freedom we enjoy. You know, life shall be short, and may we live it to the fullest and follow the covenant path back to be with the Father. And I was thinking this morning about the verse I'm on this morning in the Book of Mormon. My book more reading is 2 Nephi chapter 9. And I come to this verse, so it's a perfect verse for Easter morning. And I'm on this chapter in my normal reading, and so it's quite a popular thing beyond today, though. You know, I was thinking of the prophet Joseph Fielding Smith once told us how this chapter, chapter 9, is one of the most enlightening discourses we'll ever read on the atonement. And it's so appropriate that I'm reading it today. And it's also reading that after quoting Isaiah chapters 50, 51, which assures us of God's mindfulness of us, and he will deliver us from our bondage as in our sufferings. Jacob now goes into this discourse where he talks about the two greatest enemies we shall ever face, death and hell. He testifies that God overcomes both enemies, but we must do something to take full advantage of this gift. Probably won't get to that part of that chapter today, but anyways, he quotes in verse 6, "For his death has passed upon all men." To fulfill the merciful plan of the great Creator, there must needs be a power of resurrection, and the resurrection must needs come upon man by reason of the fall, and the fall came by reason of transgression. And because man became fallen, they were cut off from his presence, from the presence of the Lord. So there must be a resurrection. For save there be an infinite atonement, this corruption cannot put on incorruption. And if so, this flesh must lay down to rot and to crumble to its mother earth to rise no more. If it were for this resurrection, we would become subject to the evil one, to be in misery with him forever. In this Easter, I remember the empty tomb, the freedom it represents for us all. I rejoice that death is only temporary, and because of him, life is forever. I must remember of the shortness of life, though. I'm always thinking about that. People think I'm more morbid. Deborah does. but it's a fact of life. It's truth. There will never be enough time in a day, a week, or a month, or a year for us to do all we want to need to do or accomplish. We must concentrate our attention to those things that are most important to us then. President Russell M. Nelson once said, the question for each of us is the same. Are you willing to let God be the most important influence in your life? Will you allow his words, his commandments, and his covenants to influence what you do each day? As always, I must remember to be grateful of all things. We can manifest our love toward God with a grateful heart. Be grateful for things. The Lord said, "And nothing doth man offend God, save those who confess not his hand in all things." I was thinking I must not offend our God with my ingratitude. So today on Easter morning, the angel told Mary Magdalene in verse 6 in Matthew 24, I believe, "He is not here, he is risen. As he said, come, see the place where the Lord lay." As we President Howard W. Hunter once said that about the above quote verse I just quoted, how he said, "He's not here but risen," contained all the hope, assurance, and belief necessary to sustain us through our challenging and sometimes grief-filled lives. So anyways, have a blessed Easter. Know that he is risen. Because he is risen, so shall we all rise. Love you. I'm not sure when I'll next post a video journal. I won't have my laptop with me, and I won't have Wi-Fi. I have to just do a short crib note thing of my daily gratitude journal and just try to learn how to speak off the cuff and speak freely. But anyways, have a blessed day. Love you. Bye.